In today's video, we're going to look at solving equations that have multiple steps. So right now we've learned how to solve one-step equations and two-step equations. Now we're going to look at problems that have multi-step equations. And in particular, we're going to focus on equations that still only have the variable on one side. Okay, so make sure you put the date. So when you're solving multi-step equations, here are the steps that you're going to follow to solve the problem. The first thing you're going to do is look at your equation and see if you have to distribute. So if you have any parentheses, you want to make sure you distribute. Remember, distributing means you multiply the value on the outside of the parentheses by the things inside the parentheses. After checking for distribution, then you should be combining like terms if it's needed. Once you've completed these two steps, then you solve like you normally would solve. So you distribute if there's any distribution, combine like terms if there's any combining like terms, and then solve. And then the last and final step is always check your solution. So let's take a look at an example. All right, so here's our example. 2x minus 8x plus 1 equals 49. Let me kind of zoom in on this one. So we have more space. There we go. So going through my steps, the first step is to distribute. So there is no distribution because there's no parentheses here. Then I look at, can I combine like terms? And here there are like terms, the 2x minus the 8x. So I would have to combine these first before I could solve this equation. So 2x minus 8x is negative 6x plus 1 equals 49. So all I've done right now is just combined the like terms. Maybe I'll even circle the like terms if it's helpful to see. Those are my like terms that I combined, and now I'm able to solve. So now this is just a two-step equation that we worked on last week. So you want to undo the adding or subtracting, and then undo the division or multiplication. So I'm going to subtract 1 on both sides, and get negative 6x equals 48. So I have negative 6x divided by 48. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 6 and get x equals negative 8, because 48 divided by negative 6 is negative 8. I could go back and plug this in just to check. 2 times negative 8 is negative 16. Negative 8 times negative 8 is positive 64. So 64 minus 16 is 48. And 48 plus 1 is 49. Let's take a look at another example. So this problem involved simplifying by combining like terms first. That's why we spent all that time looking at combining like terms, because now it's showing up in our equations. So I gave you this equation, 16 equals -2 parentheses k plus 9. So again, I'm going to look at my steps above. The first step says distribute if needed. So in this problem, there is distribution because I see the parentheses. So I have to distribute this -2 to each term inside the parentheses. So on the left-hand side, 16 remains the same, but now I'm going to multiply -2 times k is -2k, and -2 times 9 is -18. So remember, when you're distributing, you're multiplying it by both things inside the parentheses. So now I can undo this. I'm going to add 18 to both sides because I want to get the k by itself. So that's going to give me 34 equals -2k. And now I divide by -2 and get -17 equals k. So I could plug that in. -17 plus 8, excuse me, -17 plus 9 is -8, and -2 times -8 is +16. So these are multi-step equations because we have one additional step of either combining like terms or distributing to solve our problems. The last example I'll show you is where we have to combine like terms and distribute. So let's look at an example where we have to combine and distribute. So we'll have 5 parentheses y minus 2 minus 7y equals -32. All right, so in this problem, we do have distribution right here with the parentheses, so we have to distribute. So I have 5 times y is 5y. 5 times -2 is -10. Minus 7y equals -32. So we took care of the distribution. Now we have to take care of combining like terms because there's still like terms that we can combine. So I have this 5y and this minus 7y. So 5 minus 7 is -2y minus 10 equals -32. Now I can solve this by adding 10 to both sides. And dividing by -2. So -22 divided by -2 is +11. So when you're solving multi-step equations, you're looking for if you need to distribute, then you look to combine like terms, and then you solve the remaining equation like we've been doing, trying to get the variable by itself. So this is solving with multi-step equations.